plane update for you guys. I look like an absolute idiot with the mic and the recovery boots on. I'm just about to turn these on, taking that recovery up a level. Looking forward to doing this, but as you will have seen, just had some banging food, to be honest. A nice starter, some chicken and bread, and then steak with potatoes and some veggies for the main. So really happy with that. Didn't eat breakfast because I had a wrap in the airport, and I thought if I have a wrap and then breakfast and then lunch, overdoing it a little bit, because obviously I'll be eating in the connection before the other flight as well. But I think we're just under 2 hours away from Casablanca, so yeah, I'm going to turn the boots on. This is actually only the second time that I've used the boots, because obviously I got given them the week before I went back to the UK. Thankfully, I've been able to take these with me. Unfortunately, the ice bath has had to go back to the company along with the infrared platforms, but hopefully I'm going to get those back when we get back to Dubai after summer. So yeah, I'm probably going to do, I think it's a 20-minute session on the boots. The Wi-Fi is not working whatsoever, which is really annoying, so I literally haven't been able to do any work. I literally basically can't do any work without internet connection. I can reply to WhatsApps that are sitting there, but obviously they don't go through until I get internet, so it's been a bit of a fail. So I'm going to try and get some work done in the airport, but thankfully I don't really have anything to do today other than reply to clients. So yeah, looking forward to getting there. Probably about halfway through my trip now. I had a really good sleep before. I think I knocked myself out for about 3 hours. I had a double dose of melatonin, and I feel much better now because I was struggling earlier on. So we have arrived in Marbella. Huge day of travel yesterday. It was amazing until I got to Malaga and realized that the connecting airport airline in Casablanca have basically lost my bags. So fingers crossed they haven't actually lost them, and they'll be on hopefully the next flight today. But I haven't really got my hopes up, to be honest. Everything in Dubai is so efficient. I feel like once you leave Dubai, these airlines are just not up to the same standard. So I've literally got like absolutely nothing. I traveled with basically a spare pair of boxers, a spare pair of shorts, thankfully a spare pair of trainers as well, and just a few bits like my wash bag and stuff. So I've literally got nothing apart from that. So hopefully we'll get the bag back. If not, I'm going to be spending a lot of money at the shops over the next couple of days, but just trying to stay positive. I'm not going to let something like this ruin my trip, and it's actually my birthday today as well, so it's going to be no bad vibes. But yeah, absolutely unbelievable views. It's almost 10:30. Liv is arriving very soon. So this morning I had a client call, I had a team call with Harry, who is our head coach and nutritionist on the team. Then I went out and did a nice 8k easy run just to get the body moving. Obviously didn't train yesterday, with it being literally a full day of travel from like pretty much 6 a.m. right through until 9 p.m. Spanish time. So I think that would have been like 17 hours or something. So yeah, just 8k easy. Didn't even have my Garmin because obviously that's in the suitcase as well. So it was just going off rate of perceived exertion there. But yeah, a little one clocked, and then I'm going to get back into the gym tomorrow. So main focus for today is just chill out, to be honest. I'm going to organise some content, but it is my birthday, so we're going to be going out for dinner tonight, go for some steps, get a bit of sun. It's unreal. I say it's 10:30. It's probably only about 18 degrees now, but weather is absolutely perfect. You can sit outside without sweating. So super glad to be here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the apartment. So basically, we don't really know how long we're going to be out of Dubai for. As I said, I think in the last vlog, it might have been earlier in this one, I can't remember. Usually come to Spain, Marbella anyway for a couple of months in summer. So just everything going on in Dubai, just decided to basically move that forward. So we've got this Airbnb. If you know Marbella well, you will know that that is Puerto Banús. So it's technically a little bit of a penthouse on top, which is amazing. So we got this one for exactly a month, and then I think we're going to look at getting one longer term after that. Just didn't obviously want to book 2 or 3 months in one place, because you never really know whether these Airbnbs are actually as good as they look online. This is actually, I've been pleasantly surprised by this one. Obviously villas, apartments in Marbella are usually a little bit more dated than the like really modern ones in Dubai, so it is a little bit old fashioned, but that's just kind of what you get over here. But it's absolutely massive, to be honest. It's much bigger than it looked online, which is great, because I feel like usually they take the photos and the videos with the fisheye lens, so it actually makes it look bigger than it is. But been pleased with this one, so I'll give you a little bit of a tour now. So obviously on the little The little balcony veranda thing here, good bit of space. Got 3 chairs here, so I'm going to be definitely doing some work, spending a good amount of time out here. Seems to get the sun from 10 a.m, which is perfect. This is the bedroom. I think this is, well, it's the only bedroom in the actual Airbnb. There's a little office as well. Then we've got the ensuite bathroom, nothing really to show there, not terribly exciting. And then this is the main room here, which is absolutely massive. The only thing I would say about it is it's quite kind of dark and dingy, but obviously we've got a good bit of natural light coming through. But yeah, it's absolutely huge, if you can see that. Big table. And then here we've got the kitchen, main door. Again, not terribly exciting, classic kind of Marbella apartment. But I like how it's a separate kitchen to the main space, the living room. And this little bit over here is what sold it for us, to be honest. Just lovely little office space here, amazing natural light overlooking the port there. So this is going to be the lock-in space to create plenty of content and get lots of work done. Yeah, absolutely love that. I think for me, the main thing if I'm going away and I'm going to be working as well, is just trying to get a really good amount of natural light. So when we saw that online, I was like, we've got to have that one. But yeah, really pleased with it, to be honest. It's expensive, I'm not going to say how much, but it's just the way it is on Airbnb. But super grateful to be able to relocate pretty much whenever we want. As I say, the vibe in Dubai was just a little bit strange, to be honest, with everything going on. It is home for me, and I think the way that the government have and are continuing to handle what's going on with the war is phenomenal. So to be honest, we didn't leave because of that. We just left because of the dates, the fact that we were going to be coming here later on in summer anyway. And as I mentioned in the last vlog, actually handed back my apartment anyway, so I've ended up saving a load of money in the long run. So it just felt like the best decision for us. And I think, if you are an entrepreneur and you've got the ability to work online like I do, I kind of go through this constant flux of, I love my routine, I really like having a base, and that will always be Dubai for me. But there's something to be said for being able to just get on a flight and just go anywhere and work from there. Main kind of focus of this vlog is going to be obviously showing you what we get up to over the next few days, but providing a bit of value with just kind of like, how do you get straight back into your routine if obviously you're focused on your fitness goals like I am. So going to be joining a gym tomorrow, done a little bit of a food shop yesterday, not much, we'll be getting more in today. And yeah, just showing you how we slide back into routine. But I think the main thing with travel, obviously you're not going to feel good, you might be a little bit jet lagged, sleep's never as good on the plane, even if you are in the nice facilities like I was. So that's why I got up and did the run this morning. I was like, I want to have a little bit of chill time later on, but I did want to get a session done. I don't like not exercising for 2 days or more, because I do find that mood tends to slip there. So I just basically got up and got it done, and I feel so much better from doing that. So yeah, super glad to be here. It's going to be a good few months of training, locking in and getting a good tan. If you've been to Dubai, yes, the weather is amazing, but you just don't get as good of a tan as you do in Europe and Spain for whatever reason. I have a theory. I think it's because there's lots of sand and kind of dust and dirt in the air that blocks the UV rays. But yeah, 29 today, which is absolutely crazy. Gonna get stuck into Marbella. Don't know if they can hear me. The best birthday present ever. And these as well. Full review coming. And some birthday munch. Super healthy. And we're actually coming to here for dinner as well. Just getting some steps, getting some sun. It's perfect. Yes, team, we are into work mode, fully settled in, just about to jump on a call with one of my team. Bought a few bits from the shop just to tide me over for a couple of days. Hopefully we get the luggage back, but rang them up today, no luck so far. It's definitely in Casablanca, not in Dubai. Spoke to Emirates and it definitely went on the flight. Bit annoying, but I'm just going to roll a couple of clips from some clips that I took the other day for another vlog that I didn't end up finishing off. But basically just had a couple of new clients come on board that I'm working with one-to-one personally. So I wanted to give you a bit of an insight into how I set them up in terms of the roadmap and also the actual programming too. So I'm going to insert that now, and then we are going to go out for dinner later on, actually at the restaurant that we were at before, but it's kind of like upstairs in the proper restaurant. So going to get a bit of food there. In terms of what I'm going to be doing with my training, kind of body composition, diet over the next few months, it's fair to say it's not been amazing over the last week, just with loads of flights going back to Dubai and things like that. Still obviously got all the training done, still track most of my calories. 80 to 90% of what I eat is pretty much whole foods, healthy stuff anyway, but just not feeling as good as I was a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really going to dial everything in over the next week or so, just to kind of clean up a little bit, actually holding good composition. I'll show you later on in the vlog, but basically just going to pull back on calories a little bit for the next couple of days. My maintenance, based off the data that I've had since the photo shoot, which was I think almost 6 weeks ago now, it's realistically probably around 3,200, 3,300 calories a day, which is an amazing position to be in. Obviously that is my maintenance in terms of like that's what I can consume on a daily basis and maintain weight. But that's obviously based off the output that I do, which is high. Obviously with the running, 40 to 55k a week usually, 3 strength training sessions. And over here I'll be doing probably 12 to 15,000 steps a day anyway. So my maintenance is high. I naturally have a fast metabolism, but it's obviously because I do a lot of output as well. And I put myself in a really good position from that photo shoot because I reversed out properly, slowly built calories back up, training at a higher intensity than I was obviously in the shoot prep, and I'm in a really good position. I think this is probably the highest that my kind of maintenance and metabolism has ever been, to be honest. So that's why you need to do a dieting phase properly. If the goal is to reverse out properly and build muscle, you need to build calorie intake up slowly, and it's only point in doing that and going into reverse phase if you are lean enough. So generally, if we had a client in a fat loss dieting phase, we'd want to get them down to 10 to 12% body fat. Visual indicator there would be visible abs and oblique definition with a good amount of vascularity. And again, I built my intake up now and I'm in a really good position. So it's going to be very easy for me to stay lean over the next few months. And I just find anyway, for some reason, when I'm in Marbella and I'm in the heat and stuff like that, like obviously Dubai is hot, but I spend more time outside of Marbella. It definitely kills my appetite a little bit, which is definitely a good thing because obviously 3,200 calories, it sounds like a lot of food, and it is. But I could easily go over that if I wanted to. So yeah, going to roll these clips from the new client that I onboarded last week. I think it's quite an interesting one because it's a really good example of, kind of a hybrid training approach where the client is wanting to push performance, where we're working towards a 10K PB prep at the moment for 8 weeks whilst dropping body fat. And then we'll be doing some kind of longer distance endurance stuff further down the line. So pushing performance and getting the rig into a really good spot. Basically, there's two kind of, you could call it parts to the coaching that I will set everyone up with, and the team will set up with their new clients as well. So we have the roadmap, which is basically for us as coaches to plan, obviously, the journey with the client, depending on what their goal is, their starting point and where they're heading. That could be a body composition goal. The example I'm going to show you in a second is actually a good example of someone who's doing the hybrid training. He's working towards body composition improvements, but also wanting to improve his performance as well. So we map everything out with the roadmap so that we know where they're going and also so they understand where they're going as well. I think a big issue and something that I talk to people about on consultation calls is they know roughly where they want to get to. Often their goal actually isn't specific enough. So we really try and clarify that with them on the call, but they also don't know how to get there. They might have an idea, but they don't understand the phases that they need to go through to get there. So for example, if their longer term goal is to build a good amount of lean muscle, but they're in a position now where they've got too much body fat, obviously we need to do a dieting phase first. After the dieting phase, once we've got their body fat percentage down to that kind of golden level of 10 to 12%, then we obviously need to do a reverse phase, which is where we bring calories back up. We reestablish maintenance, and that phase would usually take 3 to 4 weeks. And then after that, obviously, if the goal is to build muscle, we then put them into a lean gain. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm trying to build muscle, I'm just going to focus on building muscle. Well, you've got to go through different phases, and it really depends on your starting point. And then we've got the actual program and the nutrition targets. So we host everything in TrueCoach, which again, I'll show you in a second. But with this client here, for example, as I said before, he is what I would call kind of a hybrid physique and performance client. So on the left here, we've got his dieting phase. So he wants to drop, I think we realistically need to take body weight down by about 4 kg to lean him out and put him in a good position to then build muscle in the future. But he's also working towards his running performance as well. So I've mapped out initially a 16-week dieting phase, then a 4-week reverse, and then into maintenance. We're not going to be trying to gain too much weight once he's dropped the body fat. He wants to stay lean and push performance. That's why we haven't put him into a lean gain. And then we have his calorie and macro targets. So for example, starting out at 2,810, cardio, 2 runs a week, and then 12,000 steps a day, which is actually what he is doing already. So one, you need the phase and the roadmap, and then obviously you need the targets as well to achieve the goal. And I think this client's going to be an interesting one because he's got a really good base level of fitness. I'm pretty sure he was in the military before he started a corporate job, so he's got a solid amount of muscle. He's a good runner as well. I think he runs close to a 90-minute half marathon already, but he's been away traveling for the last 5 months, so body composition has definitely slipped a little bit. He wouldn't mind me saying. So usually if someone has got a decent training history and background, but they've been, I guess, out of training for a little bit, they'll respond very, very quickly. Their ability to build back muscle and improve body composition will be much faster than a new client. So this is going to be a really good one. It's just about balancing everything here. Obviously, we're focusing mostly on the body composition and reducing the body fat in the first 16 weeks, but I am still going to have him running at least twice a week. Should be able to handle that. And then after that, we're going to focus on performance. And then the other thing, as I was mentioned before, is the actual training program. So you can see here, I've got him on upper body, lower body, push posterior. So 4 strength training sessions a week. And then I'm going to be adding into the running program for him as well, once I've got a little bit clearer on his goal there. But, if he wants to run a sub-3 marathon in the future, we can certainly prep for that, but not at the same time as doing a fat loss phase, because trying to balance those two things would be very difficult. So I'm going to get him set up today. The process for onboarding a new client is obviously we set everything up on our end. So we've got the roadmap, the training plan, the nutrition targets. We send them over an onboarding document, which basically summarizes everything in terms of the systems of the coaching, what they can expect from working with us, and also what we expect from them as well, just in terms of, checking in on time, the standards that we kind of maintain within the coaching program. That's really important to set that standard from day one. Otherwise, clients, I think they don't really kind of expect the level that we want them to operate at to get the best result. We also have some kind of onboarding videos just for them to watch as well of me. And then we communicate on WhatsApp, and he will submit his first check-in in 5 days' time on Thursday, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, it's a little bit of an insight.
Yeah, they will be.
Right, okay. So this one obviously is just ongoing. No issues there, that's fine. This one, try to work out.
I want you to learn what this down,
Okay. We don't really know what's going on, but we're here for it. Just came for a couple of drinks. It was all going fine.
Oh, thank you.
And then this, thank you. It's like Lord of the Rings, fucking me. What's happening, team? Another beautiful morning in Marbella. Got a bit of a trim yesterday, finally sorted that out. Got my hair absolutely butchered by a barber in Wales a couple of weeks ago, so it's nice to get that sorted out. But I'm going to round off the vlog here. A little bit of a mishmash with travel. Hopefully you're taking some value in terms of how I manage things when I'm actually on the go. What I'm going to focus on in the next vlog is actually running you over basically what I've done over the last few days to just re-establish routine, because technically I'm not traveling anymore. Like, we're going to be based here for the next few months. I am going back to the UK for a wedding in 3 weeks' time, but very much just based here working and training. So I'm going to give you some recommendations for basically just getting straight back into routine after a stressful period. That was probably the busiest couple of weeks of my life in terms of like moving everything around, packing up the apartment and all that sort of stuff. But today I've just been on some check-ins this morning. It's 10:30. We've actually got a call with a company that are going to help us get a a visa in Spain to allow us to stay here more than 90 days. And then I'm going to head out on an interval run this afternoon. It's not too hot here. Obviously, I do a lot of running in Dubai, so even though it'll be a little bit toasty, I'll still be able to hopefully hit some good paces. So I'm going to pick up in the next vlog with my interval run, and again I'm going to base the next one around kind of how to get settled, how to re-establish routine to make sure that you are crushing your fitness goals. So I'll see you in the next one.